The 7 strategies that we are going to discuss in this video will definitely help you grow your Instagram account a lot faster than you think. The first strategy that you guys must know is how to master the algorithm. Because at the end of the day, this is how Instagram ranks your content. So how does Instagram actually sees your content? So before we dive deep into the strategies, you should definitely know why am I actually teaching you. So my name is Abdurrahman Ali. I have over 1.2 million followers on social media. I'm a travel influencer and a content creator. I've helped over 500 students to achieve success on social media through my online courses and through my one-on-one coaching session. I also work as a digital marketing expert, so I definitely know what I'm talking about when I'm creating this video. This channel is going to be dedicated to social media and digital marketing tips. So if you're interested in these topics, make sure to subscribe because I will definitely help you guys to grow on social media. That is 100% guaranteed. Alright, so jumping back to our first strategy, which was mastering the algorithm. Alright guys, so how does Instagram actually sees your content? The main thing that we are going to talk about today, especially in the algorithm section, we will be talking about reels. We're not going to be talking about posts, carousels, or stories because reels are actually the main thing that you should be focusing on right now because this is how you will actually grow nowadays on Instagram. So if you're creating reels, why you're not getting any followers, why you're not getting any likes, why you're not getting any reach, the first thing that might be happening is your retention rate might be really bad. So your retention rate is the average seconds that the person watched that video over the total duration of the video. A decent retention rate would start at 25, maybe to 35%. So if you have a 20-second video, a good retention rate would be between 5 to 8. It's not good, but it's decent. Like you should be actually targeting much higher retention rates, but not all your videos are going to have the best retention rate of all time. So if it hits between 25 and 35%, it's decent. If it's below that, then yeah, it's terrible, not gonna lie. And if it's above that, then this video is actually doing great on your profile. So if your retention rate is low, why is that? The first thing that can actually tank your retention rate is your hook. If you don't have a strong hook at the beginning of your video, people will not be watching the rest of the video. So this will definitely tank your retention rate. You might actually have a good hook, but you're not able to retain the viewer throughout the whole video because maybe you had a good hook, but you actually communicated the answer to your problem right after like the first 3 or 4 seconds. So they have no reason to stay. You need to think about how are you going to make people stay on that video. The second thing that could be tanking your retention rate is not having enough transitions, captions, things that actually regenerate the attention span on the viewer. You need to add more elements to your video to make it more captivating for your audience so they wouldn't get bored very easily. So there's always something happening. So when I'm creating a travel video, for example, I wouldn't have a clip longer than 2 or 3 seconds. I'm always adding captions, sound effects, and everything. This is something that you really need to focus on. Through time, your hooks are going to improve. Try to find good hooks that you can use, or you can simply scroll on the Reels tab on Instagram and try to find good hooks from the trending video that the algorithm is recommending to you. Because if the algorithm is recommending this to you, then the video is actually doing good. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the Reels tab. So everything you see on the Reels tab was there for a reason. Your hooks are going to improve through time. So the advice I can give you to improve your retention rate is to improve your hooks, add more captions and sound effects. And the last thing is to remove fillers. Remove every part that you feel is useless. Try to watch the video a couple of times, and if you're saying the same point again and again and again, then remove it. The second strategy that can actually help you grow on Instagram is engaging like a pro. So what I mean by that is that you need to engage with your audience. First thing that you need to do, reply to every comment that you get. Even the comments that you've left unreplied to, go there, reply to every single comment. Because what's going to happen is Instagram is definitely going to send a notification to that person and he might actually check your profile once more. If he didn't follow you back then, he might actually follow you this time. And replying to comments in general increases your video's engagement rate. So you need to be always replying to every comment that you get. It definitely helps your video to get pushed more by the algorithm. At the end of your reels, try to add a call to action. And what I mean by a call to action is try to encourage people to either comment, like the video, or share it with their friends, or maybe save it because they will need it later. But always use one call to action only so you wouldn't confuse people. So you can either ask them to like or comment or share or save, but don't ask them to do 2 or 3 of these because they will definitely get confused and not do anything. But adding a call to action at the end of your reel is definitely going to increase your engagement rate. The algorithm focuses on engagement as well. So what is engagement? It's likes, comments, saves, and shares. But the things that you need to keep in mind is to create stuff that is shareable or savable. These are the 2 main things that you need to focus on: saves and shares. Because if we are going to rank the likes, comments, shares, and saves, the saves and shares would be at the top, and then comments, and then likes. So try to create shareable content or savable content. So shareable content could be something that is relatable, could be something that is educational. Mostly the saved kind of videos are educational stuff that you want to keep and you want to look back at it again because it taught you something, whether it's a workout, it's a makeup tutorial, it's a travel destination, something like that. But most likely it's something educational. So definitely focus on educational content. Last thing that you can add as an engagement tool is to add a call to action in your caption. So when you're writing a caption for your video, some people actually tend to read these captions. So it's the same as you've added a call to action at the end of your reel. Now you are going to add a call to action at the end of your caption, but you are going to add the same call to action you've added in your reel. Please guys, do not confuse your audience. If you need more comments, just ask for it. If you need more shares, just ask for it. Whatever you want as a call to action, just ask for one thing. The third strategy that can help you grow on Instagram is collaboration. Whether you're actually collaborating with a famous page on Instagram or another influencer or content creator in your niche, especially on Instagram, collaboration is so important. It is so important that the platform itself created a collaboration function for you guys to use. So if it's a function in the app, I always tell my students to use it because using the internal functions of the app usually boosts your engagement. It's not going to drastically push your engagements and help you go viral, but it's definitely going to be better than not using it. So try to collaborate with people or content creators in your niche, because once you do that, you can gain more followers from that person and he will still gain more followers from your side. So it's a win-win situation. And I always say that it's not a rule to collaborate with someone from the same niche as you. You can collaborate with people from different niches. It's fine because you are not going to get followers from these people except people who are interested in your niche. So let's say me as a travel content creator, if I collaborated on a post with a tech influencer, for example, no one is going to follow me from that person except people who are interested in what I do. Same goes for him. No one is going to follow him from my side except people who are interested in tech. Definitely you might get more followers if you collaborated with people from inside your niche, but that doesn't mean that you can go searching for more audience outside of your niche and getting them to join your army. The fourth strategy that we are going to talk about is understanding your analytics. So this is something that a lot of people neglect, is the power of your analytics. Your analytics can be so useful and it can help you actually understand more about your audience. So let's say you're a travel content creator. First 4 countries that are following you are maybe US, Germany, Canada, and Mexico. So if you're someone who's creating content from the US, probably the US is going to be your first country. But then you get as the second and third and fourth countries, you got Germany, Canada, and Mexico. So as a travel content creator, if you went to these countries and you created content for these people, you might actually go viral there because people will definitely be sharing your content there. Not only that, but still you're posting interesting stuff for your main audience, which is people from the US. So it's a win-win situation. So try to think about these concepts in relevance to your niche and try to tailor them so you can actually use them and take advantage of them in your niche. Always look for the retention rate on each video that you create. This is so important. Try to understand the graphs and try to understand why did people click off at that particular second. Was it something boring you said? Maybe you had a dead gap. There was no voice, there was no sounds for a 1 second period or something. So people just scrolled your video. Try to analyze every single detail, because by doing so, you'll be improving 1% at a time and you will not do the same mistakes over and over again. again. So technically you're improving by analyzing your own mistakes and trying to figure them out. The fifth strategy that can definitely help you to grow, and it's one of my favorites, is understanding the kind of content that you guys are sharing. For all beginners out there, I would always recommend educational content. Find a topic that you really know about. Maybe you understand food, maybe you're a cook, maybe you're a gymnast, a nutritionist, maybe you're a yogi, you're a traveler. It doesn't matter. Everyone who's watching is professional at something. They know some information that people do not know. So find that topic and educate people around it, because people always stay when they're getting educated, especially on some stuff that they're interested in. So if you know tech and you can teach people about tech, go for it. If you can create really good diets, then teach people how to eat better, create better meals, all that. Try to focus on educational content and teaching people something, because this is how you can actually gain their trust. This is how they can actually know you and follow you on social media, especially as a beginner. So focusing on the type of content that you guys are sharing is very important, and I would always recommend for all beginners to focus on educational content. So before we jump into the next strategy, just make sure to like this video because it definitely helps me a lot, and I'm sure that you guys have gained a lot of knowledge till now. So the sixth strategy that we are going to talk about are hashtags and captions. Some people would argue that hashtags can help you go viral on Instagram and all that, but that is not true. Hashtags can definitely help you a bit in getting a bit more views, but it's not a magic tool. It could potentially increase your views a little bit, but it's not going to skyrocket your views or help you go viral. That's not gonna happen. Try to use between 3 and 5 hashtags, and mainly try to use a big hashtag, maybe a medium one, and then a small one. So always try to narrow your hashtags. Don't use very broad hashtags, because the less competition on a hashtag, the more your chances of showing up when people are actually scrolling through that hashtag. So the second thing that we are going to talk about are captions. So captions are really important, and you can actually hook people through your captions. You see all the time these like 2 or 3 second videos that usually loop, and they would tell you at the end of the video to check the caption, and then they have like that big article there that you have to read to understand more about the topic of the video that you are really interested in. So you have to stick around to read that caption. And what's happening here is that at the back end of Instagram's algorithm, it's actually counting how many seconds you stayed on that video, and that video was actually looping. So to Instagram, you played that video maybe 10 or 15 times depending on how long you've stayed on that post. But this is not the only strategy that you can optimize your captions with. I'm just giving you ideas here. You can use them and decide what you want to work with, but always try to write rich captions in general. Regardless if you're creating a looping video or a normal video, having captions is better than not having them, because if 20 or 30% of the people are going to read your captions, that means that they stayed longer on your video. So technically that means better retention time, which means that the video is going to get pushed even more. I'll be actually sharing with you guys 2 bonus tips at the end of this video after the 7th strategy that we are going to talk about now. The 7th strategy is to optimize your profile. Your profile has to be neat. It has to tell who you actually are. Why are you on that platform? Why are you here? Who are you? What do you do? And everything. So always have a clear profile picture so people can see who you are. Try to use keywords that are relevant to your niche in your bio, and try to use that formula always to create your bio. Who you are, what do you do, and a call to action. And then you can add a link at the bottom. So jumping on into the bonus strategies that we are going to be talking about, I'll be telling you guys 2 bonus strategies for this video. First thing, which will definitely help you increase engagement on your newly added posts, is by going live right after you post. So right after you post, try to go live every now and then. You don't have to do it every single day, but when you do that, everyone gets notified that you're live. Some people might join, some people might not, but for the people who join, they might check your profile later on and see that you have a recent post. For people who didn't join, they got a notification reminding them that you were live. So if they actually scrolled over your post on Instagram, they might actually stick around because they just saw you like 10 or 15 minutes ago through a notification. Some mind tricks to play on your audience, but they definitely work. So the last strategy that you need to focus on and understand is Instagram's SEO. And Instagram SEO is not what you really think it is. It's such a huge topic that you need to understand in order to create content in the right way for this platform. This is why I created a video specifically for Instagram's SEO and why it's actually a lie. You can watch the video from right here, guys. It's definitely gonna help you to grow on Instagram.